So anyway, to continue what I was saying about the Trinity Johnson situation. So after she had started to be tried, and they was investigating whether she was, soliciting sex with minors for sure, and doing what, they were trying to convict her of, she started pretending that she was mentally ill, right? Mind y'all, everybody can see that I'm normal. People see that I talk to myself, but other than that, I don't be doing shit. I don't hurt nobody. I don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And people be trying to lie and say that I be doing shit in public and this and that. Well, after they started investigating Trinity for what she was absolutely doing, which was soliciting sex with minors and this and that. I think I'm about to do it that way. But after they started investigating her for that, she started trying to pretend to be mentally ill. And I think her mom's name, I'm not sure if it was her name that was Kim, but I think her mom's name might have been Kim. I think Trinity Johnson's name was supposed to have been, I don't remember what it was supposed to have been, but I remember it might not have been Trinity, but her mom's name might have been Kim, her biological mom. And so then, like, she had ended up, like, her mom was embarrassed. Her mom was like, even if our family was Pippin or whatever, Trinity, we weren't doing that with kids. Like, that's not something you would know, Trinity, for you to be doing that and trying to claim that that's why you was doing this, Trinity. You need to tell them people that you was doing that because you were part of some group named Illustrious, and they promising y'all kids that y'all gonna be famous and shit. You need to tell them that, Trinity. And Trinity all ganged up, and she don't want to tell them about what Sabir Bay them had been putting together. Around that time, so many kids had started to find their parents, calling themselves a part of that group to be famous one day, and promise to be able to take care and buy their family back. That they was willing to start they raps as a kid, and depending on what they were doing, they would get it wiped. You know what I'm saying? They seen sometimes going to jail as making connections and shit, and they would be success stories and shit like that. And so their parents though had started calling in anonymously to the tip line, because we had an anonymous tip line back in the day. So back in the day here in Atlanta, people don't know, but the people had received reparations. I don't know if it was every state or whatever, but people had received reparations for, pretty much being slaves. They had received reparations for being slaves. And they got the reparations, and back here in Atlanta in like the 80s or the 90s, when they got the reparations, they built these houses outside of Atlanta, outside of the city of Atlanta, in Georgia and in different states, and these kids went to these different houses. They got to do whatever they wanted to, make connections, have sex, this and that and this. And it was connected, Illustrious was connected to that. Those kids were building connections to, in the future, do Illuminati activities under the name of Illustrious. So, their parents, had a big problem with them almost 10 years prior. They had just started getting back to normal where their kids wasn't threatening to kill them. You know what I'm saying? Their kids just started needing them again and stuff like that. Some of their kids had kids. Some of their kids was hiding kids and stuff like that. And so during that time where they had the money and their parents had either moved away, went on vacation, and then ended back up in the ghetto once all the money was spent or whatever, them kids, when that was happening in the 80s and the 90s, with the reparations and shit, them kids, they was calling their parents. They'll beat their ass, they'll kill their parents, they'll get them fight off their job, they'll get their food stamp cut, they'll steal their money, they'll steal their cars, saying they'll make their parents a living hell. So Trinity, original family, I believe, was into pimping. She might have been staying with Miss Kim, who might have been her auntie or whatever, and lady name might not be Kim, might have been Lisa, something like that. But she might not have been staying with her mom, but a lady who she saw as her mom or whatever, who took her in because her mom, whatever the case, I don't know. But when the case started where they was trying Trinity for the Trinity J for the goddamn soliciting sex with minors, selling marijuana, and having sex with minors herself, and giving explicit drugs to minors, because they was testing positive. Them kids were testing positive for marijuana in their system. it ended up that she started trying to claim she had a mental health diagnosis. Now the issue with that was, okay, you did what you did, whatever. You did what you did. But now you trying to cover it up and say that you got a mental health diagnosis and something's wrong with you. You play sports. I believe she played multiple sports. She might have been a captain of one of her sports. And she made pretty fair grades in school. So it was like, nah, you got all your cognition. For you to be doing this, you're a part of something that we don't know. Because now you're doing something that you don't need to be doing. You're pretending like you got a mental health. So now they having her talk to therapists. Now she rocking back and forth. She acting like she got a twitch and all of this. And she tried to explain, and they try to explain, like, no, it's just because she's nervous. And, you know, this is such serious charges that's coming up against her and da-da-da-da. And they're like, yeah, but we know she's been making money touching kids, and she wasn't doing all of this when she was making that money for that. She hasn't been in school like sad and stuff as these times that she's been doing this. We've interviewed her teachers. Her teachers have said that she's come in just herself every day. And now all of a sudden she's rocking back and forth. She's nervous and stuff. Like, from what we know about her, her character has been pretty solid. She's been the same person pretty solid. Now y'all telling us that she's doing all of this weird stuff. Rocking back and forth, nervous, anxious, and all of this. And she might be mentally ill. Like, nah. It's going to make it 10 times worse if this girl's going to pretend to be mentally ill now. And like I said, they have me diagnosed as mentally ill. And it's very clear that I'm not mentally ill. Once again, I'm trying to make it seem like I was ever Trinity. Or like she was ever me. Or whatever. And so, yeah. The parents had started calling in and telling them, like, listen, like, our kids, we've had this issue with our kids before where they was a part of something else, and, you know, we start to fear them. Trinity might have, when she got convicted, because she did get convicted, found guilty for it or whatever, she might have like moved in with some safe house parents or something like that, and then moved back with her mom. Sabir was getting them kids emancipated, or his name was Harold Johnson, Harold Edwards, Harold Evans. He used to call himself Eric too, and Anthony as well. And Kevin. But he was getting them kids emancipated, and then they would assume an identity that was either already there, or they'd make up a new name, use possibly get a new SSN or start using EIN numbers. And yeah, he'd get them emancipated from their parents. So now, whereas Trinity has supposed to probably be like 16, 17, he could say that Trinity Johnson was the age that I was supposed to be at that time, which was like 17, 18. They're like, it's not that much of a difference, because, you know what I'm saying, her identity had been like put here and stopped and this and that. So it's not that hard when they know they're trafficking kids, and they can just assume the identity of me. And I used to live around her. You know what I'm saying? And people were looking for me, and I had supposed to already have been like around like 17, 18, like 16, 17, 18-ish. You know what I'm saying? And so he would get them emancipated from the kids and be like, you're going to be up under me. And now she got the name Johnson, and he is walking around claiming his name is Sabir Bey. What was this man's name all these other times? That's for y'all to look into while y'all sitting up with him in James Small building, that black building over there in 2022. That's for y'all to know and y'all to find out. Y'all know so much, and y'all acting like y'all don't know nothing. Y'all know some shit. Y'all got to know that that man done changed his name. Y'all got to know what all that man doing. Y'all pretend y'all don't. And that's crazy. Because now y'all just accessories to some shit that started before y'all, because y'all wanted to be famous. But, yeah. That girl gonna try to sit up and say it happened to her, and that's where she learned it. And no, it happened to me for real. I was used for child pornography. You ain't never seen me recording no kids having sex. You ain't never seen me soliciting no minors for sex. You ain't never seen me motherfucking making no kids dance for money in a sexual manner. You never seen me trying to put no motherfucking 6-year-old with no 14-year-old to dance and have sex. No. That shit clearly really didn't happen in Trinity, and Trinity is still trying to lie and put it in their close friends 9 times out of 10. Because I know how these people operate. They just try to lie and solidify who they were. Like, I'm saying this shit, and people be like, so what's your point? Like, people would literally ask me, what's your point in saying that? Like, why are you saying this about Trinity? Like, to show y'all that depending on who it is, y'all wouldn't give a fuck what they've done or if they were Epstein. If it was a woman, y'all wouldn't give a fuck about not accusing her and then be accusing Diddy. And then they do a whole investigation and find out he ain't been touching no fucking kids, trafficking no fucking kids. Y'all just lie. Y'all situational and y'all just tell y'all lies. Y'all pop y'all shit because y'all can and it's funny. And y'all got each other airtight alibis and this and that. But anyway, I'm finna go on about my business and that's gonna be that. And real quick, let me make sure my motherfucking hair is the fuck. But y'all heard what I said. Y'all asses don't, y'all situational. Y'all want to always act like this person doing that. And I can channel this. I can channel and see if this person did this. I could channel a cat. I want to see if Trinity J or that woman in that body or that woman who is speaking. See if you can channel whether she was convicted or ever tried for those things as a minor or as a human at all. See if you can channel that. See if you can triangulate that truth with y'all astrology figures and y'all figurines of astrology. See that. Use y'all power for some shit that makes sense instead of trying to know that y'all are a part of a secret group that be trying to control. Y'all be always talking about the white people are crisis actors, and y'all are too. You're crisis complainers and crisis actors too. But yeah, see if y'all can channel that. Does it matter to y'all? We don't know. We don't know if y'all are actually even moral people. But yeah, see if y'all can channel that. See if you can find out the truth about that. And guess what? A lot of y'all are super, super researchers. If it wasn't Trinity or her, the story that I talk about, that happened here in Atlanta. Who was it? Oh my God, find the story. Who was it? Because guess what? When I started remembering the things that happened to me as a child, I immediately remembered, oh, the Baby Jan Winter story. I went and looked it up. And the story has changed on the internet since I looked it up in 2024, at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. The story has changed on the internet since then. It went from some girl claimed that she was Baby Jane Winters to now it's a white baby and this and that and blah, blah, blah. The story has since changed. However, y'all always talking about saying y'all can do y'all resources, y'all research, y'all got y'all resources and this and that. Y'all got the ways to figure out shit. See if y'all can find out that it was really Trinity Johnson, possibly under a different name. See if y'all can research that and find that out. Since y'all always can do y'all research and tap into that. See if I'm lying about that. Since I'm just some schizophrenic that just be Y'all have a good one. It's your girl Cinco in the White Head. I swing no wisdom.